So you had your testosterone check earlier today.
Yep, I checked my testosterone. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, uh, but should get the results in 2 to 3 days' time, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens from there. Uh, I can't speak on it right now, unfortunately, but it was very quick. It was good. That's all I can say.
Yeah, what would you say is this week? What's been your biggest win or takeaway?
Biggest win. I got I got a collaboration post with a really big Instagram page that helped me get more exposure to my page, and yeah, that was really good. I joined their creator program, so they can use my content, and in return, I get free exposure. They have like 2.5 million followers, so yeah, that's my
Nice.
one of my biggest wins. And yeah, working on a lead magnet for my page, start farming emails, and yeah, sort of not still focusing on top of funnel content and stuff, but also trying to really turn it into a real business and a real asset by offering value and yeah, hopefully getting customers soon. How about you?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a quieter week. I know that for myself, like you said about the lead magnets, it's something that I've been starting to put into place. It's something that I know that I need to do more of to give my audience a way of if they want to like learn more about working with me or learn more about the way that I do things with people, that I can give them a free PDF guide that kind of walks them through the whole process and gives them that bit of free value. Also gets them onto the email list, and then obviously then with the goal of that they learn more and more. They, if they are interested, then they'll be nurtured through the email list and that way. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully that eventually turns into clients. But it's been this week, the last few weeks, just caught on the what's felt like a treadmill of content. So just obviously serving like existing clients as priority, and then getting content done, which is like the 7 posts a week, the one YouTube, the email that I try and get out. But yeah, doing the lead magnets, the emails is more of the thing that I'll do if there's time after everything else is done. And I think anything like that where it's not a priority, where it's just left as like the last thing to do, if we can get around to it, it just won't get done. So I know that for me, I need to start making that more of a priority. Um, Big win from this week though was hosting my first client group call, which was something that I've known for a long time that I should have been doing since joining FBC first back in July last year. I knew they said about it back then. Um, Back at that time, a lot of my clients were from different demographics, so I didn't really have like a group chat where I could really connect everyone because it didn't feel right to have like an older guy and a younger girl in the same group chat, or like you have like 40-year-old Sally and then like 20-year-old James. It just wouldn't have worked right. But as time's gone on, I've kind of developed more, definitely through social media, more of like a niche, and I now have a group of like 7, 8 women in a similar sort of situation, similar sort of age range, similar goals, who I only really started that group properly in early this year, like February, March. And even though there wasn't loads of interaction in it, I just kept putting out daily messages, daily prompts to try and get conversation going. And it did start to build. It was something that right at the start I tried doing, didn't really take off anywhere, so I just left it. And then some other clients came in, tried building it up again. And yeah, the last month or two has been like the time where I've properly started to push it more. And people had been in like engaging pretty well, which was nice. But obviously, in a WhatsApp group, most people are faceless. You don't get like people in the group don't get to see who they're actually speaking with. It's just random names on a screen. So on Wednesday, I put together our first proper like group Zoom call where I did a little presentation, and this was something that I was thinking about delaying another few weeks because it literally got like that. I think the day before, I didn't really have time to prepare for it, but I knew that if I put it off again, it's just one of those things that I would never get round to. So I thought, screw it, I'll do it tomorrow, which was like last Wednesday. Um, put together a little presentation with the help of Claude, and just thought, screw it, because I'd put it off because I think when you're running like a presentation like this and you've never done it before, at least I was worried about people are going to ask things that I don't know the answer to, or I'm not going to have stuff to talk about, or I'm going to forget what to say and all that stuff. But I think it was just a case of just believing in myself that I've been doing this stuff for long enough that I know enough to at least help the people that are like two steps behind me on their journey. So I thought, screw it, I'll do it. And yeah, within like an hour, just whipped together a quick presentation, ran it, and went really well. I was really happy with how it went. There was good interaction between everyone on the call, which was nice. Even like before I came into it, there were already like three of them on the call engaging and like talking with each other, which is was nice to see because I think in anything, definitely in like what I do as a personal trainer, fitness coach, but I think in any kind of online business, you need some kind of interaction between the people that you're working with because that's huge for long-term retention to build that sense of community. Like people will join for the programs and the nutrition and the weight loss, but they'll stay for that feeling of community and that feeling of shared mission, shared purpose. So it was great to run that, and it was honestly something that I didn't know how it would go, and I didn't really feel ready to do it. But I think with anything in life, you have to, with most things, you have to do them before you feel ready because you will never feel ready to do something usually before you start doing it. It's the same thing with stepping in the gym for the first time. Most of us don't feel like being there because we never been. We don't have that identity as someone that goes to the gym. We don't have any progress yet, and obviously you don't get the progress until you start doing it. But in anything, you're not gonna feel ready to do it before you start doing it. You start building that evidence that you are that person that you want to be, and you do that by taking the action before you feel ready. So glad that I did it, and now happy, like looking forward to just keep building the community, keep holding these calls, and just see where I can take it. Because I think long term, that is ultimately the kind of thing that I want to build with that beyond just the workouts and the nutrition and stuff. Building that community and keeping that interaction going, and which ultimately one helps people get better results, also makes them want to stay longer. So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I don't know if you read that book, Screw It, Let's Do It by Richard Branson, but
I haven't.
it sounded like you just read that, but no, I get what you're saying, and it's very important to you can actually do stuff much faster and much less prepared than you think, and you should just do the thing. Like last week, I hadn't really. I always used to think I need to put so much time and effort into filming a YouTube video, and that just wasn't. That would always make me procrastinate. So, and I'd never actually turn on the camera and make a video. But last week, I was just like, fuck it, I want to record this video. I'm just gonna do it. Just not no fancy camera setup or whatever. Just gonna get my camera out, hold my camera, record, and just talk to the camera. And yeah, it was got it done in like an hour in total. With there wasn't that much editing to do either, and just got it out that evening. And I think there's something to learn from that. As we've been saying, you don't need to be 100% prepared, or because you'll never be 100% prepared, and you don't need to overthink it, and just take more action. And that's another thing, you'll just get more confidence from doing that, and you'll be like, oh, that wasn't so bad, I can do that again next week or tomorrow. And the barrier to entry doesn't feel so high anymore. So that it's definitely that was another big win for me, was just whipping out the camera and recording a video and not overthinking it.
I think what holds a lot of people back, I know what did hold me back before, was thinking that if you're doing anything, that you can't do it right now because you have to do it perfectly, or like in our minds, you have to do it perfectly. It has to be polished and as good as I can make it. But in anything, when you start doing it, I don't think there is no need to make it perfect. You just don't overthink it. Take the messy action, just start doing the thing, and then as you do it more and more, you can then iterate on it, you can improve on it and get better and better as time goes on, like with creating content, or with now holding group calls, or doing live webinars, which I didn't want to do for a long time. But there's a good quote I remember Chris Williamson saying about how, like, planning all the steps of how you're going to do a thing isn't doing the thing. Putting together a fancy Notion template with all your to-do lists and what ifs and XYZ is not doing the thing. Reading about books about how to do the thing isn't doing the thing. The only thing that's doing the thing is sitting down and just doing the thing that you don't feel ready to do. So it's just a case of doing stuff before you feel ready, accepting that you don't need it to be 100% perfect. You can just kind of stumble your way through it if you need to. And that's how you learn. You learn through doing the stuff before you feel ready to do it, because theoretical learning in books is very different to doing the actual stuff that you know that you need to do. And it's just the best way to, I think, develop yourself. Same thing like we were saying last week about putting yourself outside your comfort zone, taking risks that you don't feel ready to do. That's where all the growth lies. And it's always trying to do that always like in business, but then I guess in life as well. Just take do more things that challenge you. Just know that
Mm.
all of your growth is lying on the other side of that line of discomfort that you don't want to cross. And that's where it's easy to just talk yourself out of it. It's that you don't want to face up to that. You don't want to, you fear the consequences of what are people going to say if you mess up? What if I run this presentation and I just forget what to say and people laugh at me and all this stuff? But that's how you learn. You just take the messy action, just do it, get it done, and then you learn, you iterate over time, and you get better.
And it doesn't have to take as long as you think. Whatever task it is, for example, I'd been putting off for weeks putting together a simple lead magnet or whatever. And I just got it, I can just get it done in like an hour. And it's so silly. You just scare yourself out of it because you think, oh, I don't know where to start. I don't know how to do it. And you just end up procrastinating. And it's so easy when you think about it. You just gotta, it doesn't need to take that much time. And you can just not waste energy in your brain thinking about it and just go chill and do something else rather than always putting it off. And like, when, something I've learned recently is when it's time to work, you work. When it's time to relax, relax. Don't do anything half-assed, halfway. If you're gonna work, you work 100%. If you're gonna go to the gym, you go 100%. If you're gonna rest, you rest 100%. That doesn't mean doom scrolling on your phone, or that's not resting. That's not letting your mind rest. So yeah, and it's just me how personally I like to work, and I think a lot of people in our space like to work is more lion lion living. If you think about how a lion lives, they're resting most of the time, and when they need to go out to hunt, they sprint 100%, go out to hunt and catch their prey. That's that's their work, that's their job, and then they go back to resting, and they allow their mind to rest, their body to rest, and they're able to recover fully, so that when they got to go out to hunt next time, they have all the energy they need and they can just get things done super quick. In it's the opposite of working, the traditional 9 to 5, working 8 hours a day in whatever, in front of a computer, and just being super inefficient and unproductive with your time. And I think we all want to be more productive with our time. And like I said before, resting is not being unproductive. You could read a book, that could count as resting. You could go outside for a walk, clear your mind, get some sun, journal. All of that is not, super hard work tasks, and it allows your mind and body to rest so that you can tackle your work tasks very efficiently. I know you don't maybe work like that, but if you want to explain how you work, maybe it might give the viewers a different perspective, different option. They can choose how to work.
Yeah, I think for me, we all know that rest is important. I know that rest is important. I will always prioritize as much as I can 8 hours sleep I really felt it yesterday because the few nights before I'd got like 6 hours sleep, which isn't like crazily less than I'd usually get. But when one night of less sleep I find is fine. If it turns into 2, 3 days or anything more, that's when I really start to feel it. And I had like 2 nights of less sleep, and then the day after that, being in Bristol, getting back late, and again like going to bed late. I just really felt it. So like yesterday, I just had zero productivity. I tried getting stuff done, but the mind is always getting dragged to other stuff, to like the path of least resistance. So I think for me, the way that yeah, most of the time I will make time for at minimum just enough sleep. Things like the stuff that, like in the self improvement, we know that we should like read and meditate and do all these sort of things, and those are the things that I've been putting off because they don't feel like they don't feel productive. They don't feel like things that need to be done now, because when you get to a place of with your work, you know, there's always like more tasks, more things to be doing to like progress the stuff that you're doing. You always want to be focused on those things, and this is something that I'm experiencing right now. Like I will try and make 10 minutes a day to meditate, but definitely reading at the moment. I was just not made. Make about 10 minutes before bed to read, and that's about it. I know more would be good. There is another voice in my head that says it's more about taking the action. It's more important than the reading, but I think it's more about the taking the time to switch off, to reset, to let your brain come up with new ideas. Because I do feel like my mind is always on like 90% of the time, and even like going out is very hard to not put my headphones in, listen to a podcast or something, because it just feels more productive, because you
Mm.
can like learn more stuff. You like there's it feels unproductive to go out and just be still, but like you say, it's important to. I think in theory, like we all know that it's important to have that time to switch off, to let the mind rest, and then when you come back to your work, you can be more fully on it. But definitely caught in the cycle of thinking it's being more productive to go out and listen to a podcast, or don't read before bed. I can just work until like I go bed and spend more time nose against the grindstone rather than stepping back and almost like stepping, not that it's a step back, but taking like the foot off the gas to be able to, when you get back to it, it gives you that ability to push harder and harder, which I think is the thing with sleep, where sometimes you don't feel like it's the thing that you need right now, but how that impacts your productivity the next day. I know definitely for me, if I get less sleep, yes, I then get more time in the day before to do more stuff, but then the day after, it's probably losing me more productivity to the point where it's not actually net saving me time on the stuff that I want to get done. Because there's obviously a difference between duration and intensity. Like the amount of, you don't certain tasks don't need to take as long as we might spend on them. We feel like we're being productive if we're doing them, but if we're tired and taking 3 hours to get something done that could be done in an hour, if we were well rested, then it's not a great use of time. But what you were saying about the lead magnet thing that you were trying to do, that's exactly what I've been going through recently. Like trying to make time for getting the lead magnets created that I know I need to do, that I know won't take much time at all. It's like a 1, 2 hour job to get everything set up, but I've just been putting it off and off, and it's the thing that's, I think you said about taking up like the mental headspace, where you don't do the thing, you say that you'll do it when things calm down, when there's a better time, when the other important stuff is all done. But that time will never come unless you consciously make the time for it. And when it's those tasks that they're not going to take long at all to get done, if you just sit down, make a couple of hours in the morning just to focus and get it done, which is probably what I will, or hopefully will be doing this coming week. I'll make the time just to sit down and get it done because the amount of mental headspace it takes up. And again, like sleep, it's probably taking up headspace in the other stuff that you're doing. You have this thing in the back of your mind that you know you need to do, which is probably slowing you up on the other stuff. So it's probably better just to get the thing done that you know you need to do, get it out of your head, get it done, and then you can move on with the other stuff. And something that I wrote down as well, because there's a good book called Getting Things Done that I read a while ago. And I think one of the main takeaways that I took from that is a lot of the things that we want to do that we know that we should do, they're just like floating in our minds. We don't have like a clear plan of how to go about doing them. So obviously the first thing is like writing it down. What is the thing? What do you need to do? But then just figure out what is the first action within the thing and how can you make that so small to the point that it's just easy to get started, get it out of your head, start working on it. And like with the lead bag that I need to do now, it's the sort of thing where you get in when you get into it, it's so much easier just to blast through it and get it done. So that's what I will be making time for this week. And by the time we're talking next week, it should be, or it will be ready.
I found that just, yeah, doing it, I get content's important and that, that's sort of non-negotiable, but when you really need to get something done, it's better to do it before all of the other stuff. Just do it first thing. It should be the first thing on your list. And once that's out of the way, then it's done. Then you can go back to normal content creation. That's always going to be there. And then I find, I don't know about you, for writing stuff on my to-do list, I put start a lot, like start doing X, start doing Y, and I find I actually do it. I end up doing it. I'm more likely to end up doing it and completing that task. It's just sort of like a mental trick I use on myself, just because when you start doing it, starting is the hardest part, as we all know. But when you actually start doing it, you're more likely to complete it. When I've put on my task, on my to-do list, post video today, or like make, edit and post video today. It's just like, it sounds like a lot to me in my head. So instead I'll write start making video today, and I'm more likely to complete it. But that's just that's what works for me. If you struggle with getting stuff done or even starting tasks, maybe you can try that. Yeah.
So literally just don't even think about getting the full post done. Just write script post, take 5 minutes just to write down what you're actually going to talk about, and then you can do it. It's the same thing as in the gym. Very few of us, or some of us do, but a lot of people, especially like earlier on your like fitness journey, you don't feel like going to the gym because you've got the whole thing around like the nerves are going and the fear of being judged and all of that. Or if it's just a motivation thing where you just really just don't feel like going, and the motivation will never come before you start doing the thing. You have to get your body in motion, get on the treadmill, get warming up, and that's when you start doing a few sets, you build that dopamine, that sense that you're moving forward. That's when the motivation to do it will kick in. So whether it is in the gym, whether it's the tasks that you've been putting off and off, often it's just taking the first small step. And I think James Clear said it in Atomic Habits as well, where same thing, where you just start doing the thing. How can you remove the barrier to starting just to get yourself moving? And then once you are part of the way there, it's so much easier to build that momentum to keep yourself going and get it done, and probably get stuff done quicker than you think.
Yeah, like your book says, small, start taking small action, and yeah, so your mind perceives it as not such a huge task. If you're struggling to do anything, say you're trying to learn a new language, instead of telling yourself, I'm going to dedicate 20 minutes every day to learning the language, just start with 5 minutes. And 5 minutes every day is better than 20 minutes once a week, right? So yeah, you got to start small, and if you want, you can build up from there. But I find if I just keep on building and building upon the amount that I do, say it's learning a new language, if I try and build up to 20 minutes a day, then I just start procrastinating more and not getting it done. So yeah, I'm learning Japanese at the moment, and I've found I'm way more consistent by just doing 5 minutes every day, and or learning 5 new phrases every day rather than 10, which I used to do, but not consistently. But now 5 every day is a lot more consistent and productive and takes less time.
Yeah, same with me with doing Spanish, because I was for quite a long time I was doing like 20 minutes a day on Duolingo and like doing this for ages, and I was like learning quite a lot for it. I was making the time to do it, but it kind of got to a certain point where I wanted to put my time into other things, so I kind of brought the amount of time that I was spending doing it down to just like one lesson a day. I think with any of these kind of habits, you should have a minimum threshold of what's the minimum that it's small enough that you can do it even on your busiest days, but it's still going to be something that's going to add up and still move you forward. So yeah, just bringing it back down to a lesson a day. So like you're still moving forward, you're still in the loop with it, but it's, and I could make more time for it, but it's just something you can do even when you're busy with everything else, or you want to prioritize other things. So it's just like, yeah, removing that barrier, making it small enough that no matter what's going on, you can still do it.
Yeah, I think it's really understated how important it is to, whatever it is, if you have a goal that you're working towards, to work on it every day, not skip a day. But that doesn't mean doing 4 hours of deep work on it every day, because sometimes life gets in the way, things get really busy, and you're not able to do that. So even just half an hour or an hour, after work or whatever, it's so important to keep that momentum going, because otherwise you'll just fall back and, a day will go by, a few days will go by, a week will go by without you working towards your goal. And then it ends up becoming months, and then you're still in the same place as you were 6 months ago. So, and it's also like a mental reminder, just working towards that goal every day, of what you're working towards and why you're working towards it. And over time, your identity will shift, and you'll just become that guy who works towards his goal every single day, no matter what. Even if it's just 10 minutes, you did something. You did something that moved you closer to that goal, and that's really important. Thanks for watching, and go check out our school community if you want to network, connect with with us and other like-minded guys. We're all on the same journey. We're all on self-improvement. We're all on the same mission. And we're all there to support each other and talk to each other about our problems and our goals and what we can do to help each other move forward. So, yeah, just join. And if you found this podcast insightful, leave a comment, leave a like, share it with your friends. And yeah, did you want to add anything else?
Yeah, I mean, where can people find you if they want to like learn more about you, and then I'll share mine after.
My YouTube channel's at Philip Solomon 777. My Instagram is at Philip underscore Michael underscore Souls SOLZZ. And yeah, you can find me there, connect with me there. So,
Yeah, and if you want to see more about me, my Instagram is Joe Penrose underscore. My YouTube it will be in the description, but it's I think just my name, Joe Penrose. And yeah, like we said, the school community link will be in the description, so it's free. Join that if what well if you stayed this long, you probably resonate. So go and join that, and look forward to seeing you on the next one.
take care.